able to give evidence in my ways that I know that the passage is really about apples. Sometimes you will want to retell a passage that you have read. Make sure that you know the main idea. Then figure out the key details, which are the most important facts in the passage. So, if for some reason I get to my main idea and I try to find my supporting details and they don't match, then that means that I have to go back to the main idea. Maybe my main idea wasn't correct, okay? So anytime you look for the main idea or anytime you give a main idea for your text, you want to make sure you have those supporting details, the evidence. So, I'm going to look at this one. This one is the title. It's called Life in American Colonies. Life in American Colonies. So, I'm going to think about what the cartoon is mostly about as I read. It says, people had to chop wood for fuel. Taking farm goods to sell in town could take hours. Everyone in the family had to work. So I'm going to leave this here for a second, and I want you to reply in the chat box, what is the cartoon mostly about? Everyone at this time, I'm going to pause for about 2 minutes, and I want you to post, what is this cartoon mostly about? What do you think the main idea is? So everyone's going to go to your chat box, and I'll show you again how to get there. So if you are seeing this screen, you're going to click right here. It will make your chat box open up, and you are going to respond. So I'll put the post back up on the screen, and you're going to tell me, life in the American colonies, what do you think this cartoon is mostly about? I'm going to give you about 1 minute and 30 seconds, and I need everyone to respond. Okay, so Antonio said it's about working hard. So Jeremiah, the request control, you're not going to click on that. You're only responding in the chat. Okay, so Lamar said that it's mostly about working. Madison said that the main idea is to work hard and be safe. Gonna wait a few more moments. Okay, so working for improvement. Good job, Jeremiah. And did I have everyone respond? All right, and then I have Alasia who posted what they did for fuel. All right, so I'm going to look at the main idea. Now remember, the main idea tells me what the entire text is mostly about. So, yes, they told me about fuel. Yes, they were telling me about that it could take hours to sell things in town. Yes, they told me about the family working hard, but my overall main idea is about the life in the colonies was not easy. So I could say that they told me about the life in the colonies, but I really want to focus on the fact that they told me that it was not easy. The way that I would know is because what my evidence is that they had to chop fuel, they had to chop wood, they had to take things to the town to be able to sell them, and everyone had to work hard. Okay? Now, I'm going to stop here. Does anyone have any questions? At this point, you can unmute yourself to ask any questions.
No.
All right, so if there are no questions, I am going to continue. Okay, so these are you all's next steps. The next steps that we have include completing your vocabulary assignments by Friday, which is tomorrow. So by tomorrow, everyone needs to have started their vocabulary assignment. So the due date for everything is not until the 16th, but you have to have it started by tomorrow. That means you have to have your video watched, and you have to make sure you have to have your video watched, and you want to make sure that you have your test cards started. Okay, so your vocabulary cards, those need to be started as well. So again, I gave a shout out to Jeremiah at the beginning of the lesson because he did have his. Shout out to Antonio, who I know has logged in. Shout out to Lamar and Alasia, who have logged in as well. Let's make sure that we are working on those assignments. Madison, make sure you are logged in. If you are not, I will go over the directions again at the end on how to get in. Okay, you want to make sure that you're completing your iReady lessons. So we're getting ready to do our check-in to see where everyone is with their iReady lessons. And then I want everyone to try to read independently one book by tomorrow. So it can be a chapter out of a book. It can be a book that you have at home. It can be a book on Epic, a book on MyOn. For Epic, I will post the code at the end of the lesson today. So at 10 o'clock, I will post the Epic code. And if you don't remember your login, I will provide those as well. But I want everyone to make sure that you're reading independently. If you are reading online, remember, myself and Ms. Hunter, we are able to go in and see that you are reading. So if you're reading on Epic and you say that you read a book, but you read 20 pages in 2 minutes, I know that you didn't really read anything. Same thing on MyOn. Remember, independently reading, you guys are the growing readers, which means you're practicing that stamina. Find your one place, stay in that one spot, get started right away, and try to time yourself. See if you can read for a total of 5 minutes. We're trying to work back up to our 15 minutes of independent reading. Okay, so I am going to do our check-in for iReady. So Jeremiah